Good morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again on this dark and rainy California morning. Now, if it's Wednesday to you, that means it's Monday to me. And a lot has been going on. Last week, unfortunately, there was a mass shooting in New Zealand. Almost 60 people dead. Some crazy piece of shit went into, I think, 2 mosques and killed a bunch of people. It was unfortunate and it was sad. But this crazy piece of shit had a manifesto. It was a bunch of pages. He mentioned a lot of different things. He mentioned that Candace Owens was an inspiration of his, which is weird because if you're a white supremacist, why would you draw inspiration from a black woman? And you know, if you listen to the mainstream mediocres, I was reading an article in the Washington Post, and this is Trump's fault. He did it, right? He has the ability to be in 2 places at once. He did this shit. That crazy bastard had an earpiece in, and Trump was in his earpiece telling him, okay, shoot that guy, don't forget them. Check behind that bench. Yeah, there you go. Shoot him, her, him. I think there's some people hiding, cowering in fear in the next room. Let's get in there and see if we can get them shot too. Like, come the fuck on. How deep does this TDS go? They were saying, oh, back in 2016 on the campaign trail, he said this, and he's always wanted to kick Syrians and Muslims out of the country, and his Muslim ban and his rhetoric and blah, blah. He did this. Right. Like this fucking nut job who is nuttier than squirrel shit every day was getting up. Good morning, morning neighbor, going to work, paying his taxes, being a nice citizen, and then November 2016, Donald Trump is president. I must acquire weapons and kill Muslims. Like, stop that shit. Any way they can tie Trump to some crazy shit, they will. Because Trump is 95% of their content. Without Trump, they have nothing. So they gotta reach. They gotta reach for any and every little nugget of Trumpism that they can. So somehow, he influenced, he triggered, he activated this crazy bastard to go kill a bunch of people. And then they're saying, well, Trump, he didn't show his solidarity with the Muslim people around the world. He didn't say this, and he should have said more of that. Like, what the fuck do you want the man to say? He condemned the activities. It didn't happen here. He's the president of the United States, not the prime minister of New Zealand. That's his issue to deal with. What do you want Trump to do? Show up to the hospital and start doing surgery on the survivors? You want him to grab a shovel and start digging the graves for the dead? It didn't happen here. He does what all world leaders do. Gives his condolences, condemns the psychos that did it, and moves on to the day's business. Did you want him to start crying in the Oval Office? Did you want him to faint from the sheer carnage of what happened? What do you want this man to do? He didn't do this enough. He didn't say that enough. He didn't feel enough. Shut the fuck up. What do you want from this man? But of course he just didn't. And they asked him, well, what do you think of white nationalism? He's like, well, I don't really think much of it. They're a bunch of fucked up people with very, very serious problems. What do you want him to say? I'll tell you what they expected him to say. You expected him to jump up in the air and fucking high five Mike Pence. Yeah! Got some more dead Muslims. Fuck yeah! I love this shit. DC, what up? And just drop the mic and walk. What the fuck do you want this man to do? No one's happy about this. No one's excited that all these people were murdered except other crazy bastards, but they were crazy when they got here. These people were born fucked up. You ever get something and it's just, you can see that the machine messed up when it made it? There's something off, it's crooked. Fellas, or anybody else who's building anything, you ever look down a 2x4 and see it's a little crooked? Some things show up damaged. Some things are just wrong and a little off from the beginning. There's no one person that's gonna flip the switch and all of a sudden I go from a regular person to a fucking murderous psycho. These people have it in them already. Them saying that Trump somehow set this off in this dog whistle bullshit, that's just to sell magazines and get clicks. That shit's not real. That either comes from a fucked up upbringing or your wiring is just off. That's that. Trump had nothing to do with this. But if you listen to the mainstream mediocres, shit, he has gunpowder residue on his hands. He was there. He pulled the trigger. And who's that fucking numbnut? That dickhead, John Legend? Oh, I want the president to apologize because of his negative comments and his negative rhetoric against Muslim people. He caused this somehow. Man, fuck you. What are you talking about? All you elitists, entertainers, Hollywood people, man, go back to your weird ass parties and your molestation and all that weird, creepy, disgusting, dirty shit that goes on in Hollywood. Stick to that. Stay the fuck out of the real world, the regular people's reality. Apologize for what? He didn't do anything. These same countries that are banned, which is so terrible. You can't keep people from coming in your country because they want to. You can't say no to your child when they want chocolate chip cookies for breakfast because they want it, right? If they want it, you got to give it to them, no matter what. No matter who's in peril because of your wants. No, if they want to be here, it's our duty to let them in here. Man, shut all the way the fuck up. These people were psychos. These people were hell-bent on violence before Trump even announced that he was thinking about running for president. If it's racist and a white person was involved, they're a direct relative of Trump. They got Trump blood in them somehow. If you look at his family tree, you can connect them to all these crazy bastards. White nationalism is a thing to some, but they're a very minute portion of the population. They mean nothing. They're unorganized, toothless sister fuckers. That's it. You can't help who takes inspiration, I guess for lack of a better word, from what you do or what you say. You can't be responsible for how people perceive your message. How they take in your message and twist it through their fucking crazy ass mind. You can't be responsible for that. People are going to do what they're going to do. I couldn't believe reading that stuff. People are actually blaming Trump for the murder of 49 people. When the same number of people, now the shoe was on the other foot. This time, a white nationalist or supremacist, whatever the fuck, shot up a bunch of Muslims. A few years back, Pulse nightclub, a Muslim shot up a bunch of regular people. I guess, right? Regular, non-Muslim, whatever the fuck. So when the shoe was on the other foot, was everybody blaming Obama because he has a Muslim name and because he was president at the time, right? He was in that guy's earpiece too, right? No, wrong. He came out, condemned the actions, I think, and that was it. No one in their right mind was tying Obama into that. No one in their right mind is tying Trump into this. Except you crazy, sick fuckers in the media who have nothing else to report on. Well, you do, but you just don't. Trump is it. CNN, what's for dinner tonight? Trump. MSNBC, what's for dinner tonight? Trump. Washington Post, HuffPo, New York Times, what's for dinner tonight? Trump. Wouldn't you get sick of that shit? The same thing all the time? It's laughable. It's sad. It's desperate. When is it going to stop? I guess when he finishes his second term. Third term? Third term, maybe? I don't know. I'd vote for that. It's happened before. But this shit is just sad, man. What happened to those people was fucked up. Unfortunately, New Zealand are a bunch of pussies when it comes to punishing people. So he'll probably sit in a prison for the rest of his life instead of having his fucking neck stretched like he needs to. Why don't we outsource? Why don't we trade? We'll trade one of our prisoners for one of yours. We'll take that guy and we'll put him in a Texas prison. Because Texas will light your ass up. Texas will put amps through you. This shit is just sad, man. Come on, it's old. Fucking stop. There's a handful of soft-headed dummies who actually believe this shit. Most people don't. Don't listen to the mainstream mediocres. The overwhelming majority of people do not believe this stupid shit. They sit there in front of their computers, they sit there in front of their newspaper, and when they see stuff like this, they laugh. And then they get sad because they realize it's real. People are really pushing this shit. Find something else to report. Is there nothing else going on? Why don't you report on the failure of local politicians in some of these states? Why don't you report on the rampant homelessness in California? These tent cities, the disease, the filth, the drugs, the violence, the shitty roads, the even shittier schools. There's a plethora of other things to report on. Real things. Not tying our fucking president into a mass murder in another country. People, you know where I'm headed. I gotta jump in this damn rat race. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow your boy on the Twitters @Green_Jericho. Utilize that PayPal link. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.